I call this the Rebel card. It's a regular deck, a bicycle deck. Find it in anybody's home. It's not a trick deck. There's nothing unusual about it. There you go. What I will do is, first of all, give it a little bit of a shuffle so that everybody knows that it's not set up. And I will find out who's the rebel in the crowd. There's always one rebel in the crowd. Whoever that person is, I will ask them to pick a card. Any card at all, any card at all. Let's say that that's the one that they picked. And I don't know what that card is. I'm showing it to you now. And I tell them to place that card back on the deck. So now, I straighten up the deck a little bit. And what I'm going to ask them to do is, well, first of all, I'm going to take their card off, like that. Place it over to the side. Because now I'm going to once again mix up the deck. You can cut it several times as long as it's mixed up properly. Now I'm going to take the deck and I'm going to bevel the edge, like that. Take their card, their rebel card, and I'm going to slide it along the top. And as I do, I'm going to ask them to tell me where to stop. Let's say they ask me to stop there. And I will take their card and I place it in the deck, like that, and line up the entire deck. Once again, a few more shuffles. I want to make it fair. Then I take the card, the entire deck, flip it over and go, ha ha! And of course, their expressions are blank because that's not their card. I know that's not their card. But in truth, I don't actually know what their card is. I don't have to know what the card is. It's a rebel card. The cool thing about rebels is that they stand out. Okay, now I'm going I suddenly have an assistant here. No, Julian. No, no, no. This is a card trick. I use you for the sawing the puppy in half trick. We'll do that one some other time. Okay? Thank you very much. You gotta go down here, though. Good puppy. Good pups. This is called Assumption. And I named it that because it's actually something that magicians rely on quite a bit, which is the audience assumption of what's going on. In this particular case, I have a deck of cards. I will have people examine the cards. They can look at them. It's a normal deck. When they're done examining the cards, they can shuffle them. They can cut the cards. It doesn't actually matter to me. I will then take the card and I will explain to them that half of what the magician does is actually assumption, making the audience assume things that actually did not happen. And to show that, to illustrate that, what I'll do is I will ask them to help me cut the deck somewhere halfway in between. So let's say that's about a little bit more. No, obviously not down there. All right, that's about halfway. Now the important thing about this is that I'm going to take the bottom half and invert it, just like that. Then I'm going to take the top half, which was the bottom half, and place it on top like that. So you can see, I now have a deck half facing the other half. Half the cards are facing the other half of the cards. This is a rigged deck. I will explain that to the audience. It's a rigged deck. However, anybody who looks at it would know something was strange. So what I do is, for purposes of illustration, I'm going to pick a card at random off of the top half, which will be a face-down card, right there. Then I will pick one out of the bottom half, which will be a face-up card, which is the 8 of clubs. All right. Now, I take this face-down card, 7 of clubs, wow, that's a coincidence, and I will place it on the bottom of the deck. Now, at this point, this looks like a normal deck, even though it's still a rigged deck. I'll take the top card, flip it over, and now this is very important. I'm going to take this top card and put it right on the top. Now the reason this is important is because we call it a convincer. If somebody were to just walk up and see this deck like this, they will assume it's a normal deck. So to add a little bit more emphasis to it, if they see me take this card and place it on top, what their mind subliminally sees are 2 cards facing down and the bottom card facing down. So that's like concrete evidence as far as they're concerned. They assume that all the cards are facing in the same direction, except of course for the people that I just explained it to, because you know that it's a rigged deck and not actually a true deck. Unless of course you have assumed that I actually did rig the deck.